In this video, we will be taking a look at Change Tracker in AF Core. We have already been using that behind the scene, it's just we are not aware of that right now. Change Tracker class provides access to change tracking information and operations for entity instances the context is tracking. Now you might be asking yourself, what is this tracking? Whenever you access anything using the DB context object, it keeps a track of that object. In Entity Framework Core, the DB context includes the Change Tracker class, and it starts tracking all the entities as soon as it is retrieved using the DB context. That being said, there are multiple states with the entity. The first one is the added state. The entity is being tracked by the context but does not yet exist in the database. This means if you add a new entity using the add method, the state will be marked as added. But right now it has not been added to the database. So until you save the changes, it will be in the added state. Next is the unchanged. The entity is being tracked by the context and it also exists in the database. So this means whenever we retrieve any entity from the database, but we have not made any changes there, it will be in the unchanged state. After that, we have modified. As the name suggests, the entity is again being tracked by the context, and this time it will also exist in the database like unchanged. But the entity will be marked as modified if you change any value of any property of the entity and it is changed in the scope of DB context. After that, we have the deleted. In this, the entity is tracked by the context and it also exists in the database. If any entity has to be removed from the DB context using remove or remove range method, then it will be marked as deleted. We have used all four of these entities, but we just haven't seen them in action or haven't noticed their tracker state. There is one more state, which is the detached state. Here, if the entity or the entities created or retrieved are out of the scope of the current DB instance, then it will be marked as a detached state. We do not have this in our application, and you can test this out if you create a new local instance of application DB context within your DB context, then it will change the state to detached. We won't be going into that detail, but what I want to do is I want to show you all the other four in action.